Alright, so remember, this is standard form of a quadratic equation, and the reason why I'm kind of pounding this into you is because you're not going to be able to use the quadratic formula until your equation is in standard form. It has to be in standard form before you can use the quadratic formula. And if you go directly to the quadratic formula without first making sure that the equation you've been given is in standard form, you run the risk of getting incorrect solutions. As the saying goes, garbage in, garbage out. Okay, now what I've developed is a 4-step procedure for you to use to help you solve quadratic equations more expeditiously. The first step is going to always make sure that your equation is in standard form, and if it isn't, get it in standard form. You're going to have to force that quadratic equation into standard form before you can use the quadratic formula. And remember, standard form is where you have 0 on one side, everything else on the other, and your exponents get smaller and smaller on the variable from left to right. Once you have your quadratic equation in standard form, you're going to identify the values of a, b, and c. You can't use the quadratic formula unless you know what the values of a, b, and c are, because the solutions of the quadratic equation you've been given depend on those 3 values. Step 3 is basically plug and chug. You take a, b, and c from step 2, plug it into your quadratic formula, and chug it out. The last thing we're going to do is break the resulting equation we get from plugging those values into the formula into 2 separate equations, and we're going to simplify them. And in the next video, we'll work out an example together.